my friends and fans out there, um, I hope you are having a good day today. And I want to thank you for watching my YouTube videos because at this point I'm close to 500,000 views. So it's because of you, and I really appreciate it. And then um, please keep on watching, and then it is really it is really a good thing that you follow me on YouTube, and I'm very grateful to you for that. But you know what I do? I do music. Um, I play music for you. But as I told you before, you deserve more than that. So that's why I chose to also post videos about the aviation, since I am an aviation professional. So I think I can have conversations about what's going on in the industry, because you fly, you fly, you know you, there are things that you might be interested in learning about in aviation, because you're part of the aviation industry, because you fly the airplanes that we maintain. So one thing that I always want you to know is that safety is our number one priority when it comes to aviation, whether you're talking about maintenance, air traffic control, and you know everything that we do in aviation is towards safety, because we care about you, the flying public. We want to make sure that when you fly, you're safe. From point A to point B, you're safe, and then that's the way it must be, that's the way it should be, and that's the way we try to do it. Safety is our number one priority in aviation. So I can assure you that every time we get to work on the aircraft, that's what we have in our minds, to make sure that you're safe, when you fly. And also, as I told you before, aviation safety is also regulated by the federal government. So there are rules and regulations that as aviation professionals that we must abide by in order to assure assure your safety. Yeah, well, it's not when working on an aircraft. It's not like it's not something that the companies take lightly. You must be certified in order to be able to work as mechanics, um, dispatchers, um, traffic controllers, pilots. We, in order to work on an airplane or to fly in an aircraft, we must be certified by the federal government. And that means we must go to school and learn learn about aviation. I learn about the tasks we're going to we're gonna we're going to do, and then we go to school for a period of time, and then we get a diploma, and then we get to be certified by the government, by the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration. We have to take in order to be certified, we have to take the FAA tests, and then if you pass your test, then you get your certification, and then that way you that way we when we get to be certified, when we are certified by the FAA, then we can work on the aircraft. We can fly the aircraft. When speaking of pilots, so there's a lot of even in the medical area of aviation, there has to be they have to the certification becomes a very important matter in order to make sure that safety is comprehensive. It's comprehensive when it comes to handle to fly an aircraft, to maintain the aircraft, and so on. So as all the certified people that are working on that are involved in aviation one way or another. All of us, we are certified under the name of Airmen and Airwomen, and pilots, dispatchers, mechanics, traffic controllers. We all are airmen, and then and the FAA And since the aircraft flies, the aircraft fly, you know, under the sky. So and the traffic controllers control, control the air in the traffic in the air. So if there's some sort of litigation against airmen, for example, traffic controllers, so the FAA will also be involved in that type of litigation. So what I'm as of as the flying as the flying public. So I told you all these things to ensure you that we think about you or in whatever you do in aviation. We think about your safety, and we try not we do the best we can, and to make sure that your safety is not compromised, because that's professionalism, and also it is a regulation. It is it is also how can I say that? It is also regulated. I'm talking about safety. Safety is regulated, so we have to make sure that you're safe. Today I was, and remember something I want to say. There's a safety regulation. There's aviation safety regulation. There is also economic regulation, but I think I will be concentrating more on the safety regulation side aspects of the industry, because the regulation is the economic regulation is kind of fuzzy at this time. But I will certainly cover some of it. But the most important thing I want to cover in my aviation YouTube videos is mostly safety, and also some technical aspects of the industry. For example, I would be as you might be interested in knowing, well, how can an airplane fly? How can an airplane stay in the air and just fly? And you might want to know how can that happen? Well, I will cover that types of subjects, and because I will be talking about flight theory and aerodynamics in some of my YouTube videos. So but today, what I really want to talk about, I want to talk about I want to talk to some of my fellow airmen, women in the industry. Uh, Speaking of the mechanics, the maintenance, the mechanics are those people who maintain the aircraft that you fly. They fix the aircraft. Okay, every time there's a problem, something breaks down, and then the maintenance mechanics, you can also call them maintenance technicians, they fix the problem. They go to the aircraft and they fix the aircraft. Just like if your car breaks down, then you need to find an auto mechanic to fix it. And then it's the same thing when an aircraft breaks down, and then mechanics, okay, fix their jobs. Their job is to fix the aircraft safely. So, and we don't take that job lightly, because we know that as opposed to a car that you can pull over if something happened, well, when you fly, it's not the same thing. So we want, as mechanics, we want to make sure that we follow, rules and regulations. We follow the manufacturer's, instructions in the maintenance manuals, and then we make sure that we have the right equipment to work with. We make sure that when we concentrate on what we're doing, we don't get distracted. We make sure that we follow all the rules and regulations in order to make sure that we do a good job, we do a safe job, because we never want to compromise safety just by we don't cut corners, because we want to make sure that the job he's doing is done in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions, which we follow to the letter, to make sure that the aircraft is fixed properly. So this is why that we always have trainings going on, as technicians. The companies, they are obligated to train the technicians, the mechanics. They have recurring trainings and human factors training, all these things, in order to make sure that safety remains #1 priority. So, and of course the FAA is watching, and then many times, you can expect them to go to visit the companies, the airlines, the 145 repair stations. The FAA always, show up in order to see how we are doing, how we are working, you know, how we are performing our jobs, you know, safely, and all that in the name of to keep you safe on an aircraft. Um, the like I said, like I told you before, my friends and friends, the mechanics that work on the plane, on the aircraft that you fly, they are certified by the federal government, the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. They are trained. They are, you know, they, in order to get a license, in order to, you know, to even in order to get to even get a badge to work at the airport, the government does background check on you to make sure that you don't have any type of records, you know, like a drug, DUI, all those kind of stuff, and make sure that your records are clean in order for you to be able uh, to even touch the aircraft, because there's no way, there's no room for error. You know, when in aviation maintenance. So if you are, you know, if you're not there because of illegal substances you might be taking, stuff like that, then more than likely, if you get caught, if you are already a technician, a mechanic, for example, if you get caught, then you know your license, your license can be revoked by the federal government, by by the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA. So there's a lot of steps that are taken in order to make sure that you, as the flying public, when you step into an aircraft, you're comfortable, and then and the aircraft will be airworthy for you to fly. So you don't have to worry about not being safe. You know, so the one thing that I want to say to my fellow aviation professionals, aviation mechanics, because I used to be a mechanic myself, and once a mechanic, once always a mechanic. So my advice to my fellow mechanics: don't be afraid of the FAA. Don't be scared of the FAA. Instead, do the right thing. Just like when you're driving your car on the street, if you see a police car passing by, well, okay, passing by you, and you're driving, if your license has not been suspended, if you're not drunk, if you have your insurance, if you're driving if you're not driving in a reckless way, so you have nothing to worry about, even though that policeman is driving, that police car is driving right by your side on the other lane. So it's the same. It's the same thing as a mechanic. If you know that when you're working on an aircraft, you have you follow the FARs, you follow the federal aviation regulations. You have you're going to work on an aircraft. You have your A&P license on you or close by, as you performing your job. You know you're sober. You know that you have your maintenance manual reference with you, and you know that you actually following the maintenance manual step by step, and you know that you are following the dirty dozen of human factors. You're not being complacent, and you have nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about the FAA coming over where you're working at. You don't have to worry about the FAA looking at you, because you know you are doing the right thing. I have seen some mechanics, not only mechanics, some other people in aviation that when they know the FAA, is going to visit them or whatever, or if they just show up, and then some people they just panic, and then they're scared. No, you don't have to be afraid of the FAA if you're doing the right thing. I don't think the FAA is trying to come over and trying to intimidate you, or trying to catch you in no, that's not, that's not what they're doing. What the FAA is doing is actually make sure that you promoting safety, because that's the main important thing that the FAA is concerned about, is safety. So when they come over to your place, and then they're not trying to burn you, anything like that. They're trying to make sure that you're following the procedures, you're following the rules, you're following the federal aviation regulations, and then safety is your number one priority. That's all. In my opinion, that's what they're trying to do. They're not trying to burn anybody. So there's no reason for, if you are following the procedures, you're doing the right thing, to be even worry about the FAA coming over to your place. If they come, if you're doing the right thing, you just answer. They ask you a question, you just answer the question. You have to be, if you're doing the right thing, you're gonna be, it's gonna be easy for you. You're gonna be confident. You're gonna be okay. Let's talk. What do you want to know? I'm saying, of course, uh, I will answer the questions. You should answer the question properly. You should because they're going to the FAA will actually watch the way you answer your questions. If you hesitate and then stuff like that, then they will probably try to find something to. You probably give them an opportunity to you know to make you to make you responsible for whatever to try to find out why you hesitated. Yeah, so you gotta be if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're not gonna be intimidated. You're gonna be confident and then answer whatever questions they ask you. If you don't know, if you're not sure, then you can tell them, okay, all right. I'm going to. You can tell them that okay, I'm going to look into it. I'll get back to you whenever But you should not be hesitating in answering FA the FA questions. And as mechanics, don't be scared. Just do the right thing. The FA, as airmen and women, we have rights. We have rights. The FAA they have the right to punish us. They can revoke our license. They can suspend them. But we also have right. The FAA cannot just come to you and say, well, give me your license, stuff like that, and then you just hand your license to them. They cannot just do that. They have to have a valid reason to even suspend your license. I mean, of course, if the FAA ask you to show them your license, then you need to do so. It's just like a police officer ask you to show your license and your insurance. You need to do so, okay? But they cannot just suspend or revoke your license for no reason at all. If they do so, then you have you have actions that you can take to defend yourself, because you also have rights, because you went to school, you spend a lot of money to get to get your diploma, then you get you study a lot to get to get certified, to get your license. That is not fun for the FAA just to say, well, I'm going to revoke your license. I'm going to suspend your license. Of course, they can do so, but they have to have a valid reason to do it. And then if you give them the reason to do it, they will do it. But if you know that you are not at fault, you always do what you're supposed to do. You follow the regulations. You don't cut corners. You do your jobs according to the manufacturer's instructions. You follow your maintenance manual. You follow the dirty dozen of human factors. Then if they come around and mess with your license, then you can take actions, because you can there are places that you can go you know, to defend yourself, to defend yourselves against injustice from the FAA if it exists. But this is something that I will talk to you about in future videos. If the FAA comes, if the FAA just just suspends your license or revokes it without any valid reason, then there are actions then you can take against that. And then in my future videos, I will tell you what they are. But at the same time, my fellow mechanics, you know, also the pilots and dispatchers and you name it, you can defend yourself, but remember you also have obligations. Okay, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you violate the FARs, and if you don't you know, if you violate the FARs, and if you don't follow directions, excuse me, if you don't follow instructions when you're doing your when you're working on the aircraft, if you don't if the FAA catches you doing things that you're not supposed to do, if you don't have your maintenance manual with you when you work, then you give them a reason to mess with your license. So the best way to avoid having that kind of confrontation is to do the right thing. So remember, don't be afraid of the FAA. I'm talking about the mechanics, pilots, dispatchers, traffic controllers, and any other stakeholders in the aviation industry. You don't have to be afraid of the FAA. Okay, when they can come to visit your facilities anytime they want. Okay, you don't have to be afraid of them as long as you do the right things. So my advice to you, do the right things, you know, and then you won't have to be afraid of the FAA. So let's keep the aircraft safe. Let's keep them airworthy, and that way the flying public will fly safely, and then they will have more confidence in us, and they will trust us more. Meanwhile, have a safe day.